Well, since I said I was going to bring this series back, it is back. Things you missed. But, this episode of Things You Missed, or this video of Things You Missed, is going to be slightly different from the rest. As you can tell, the music at the back is different, right? So, in this Things You Missed, I'm going to be talking about 8 things you did not know about the Otsutsuki. Now, some of these things you might know, but if you don't, it is fine. And if you do, then that's also fine. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Now, without any delay, let's start. Now, number 1 is, who planted the Shiju tree on earth to absorb all its chakra? And the answer is that it is no one other than Kaguya Otsutsuki. Now the thing is, right, from my theory, what happened is Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Kaguya, must have probably seen Earth, right, and then they decided to send one person down to, take care of the planet and, absorb all its chakra by planting the seed of the Shinju tree, right? And the thing is that Kaguya actually failed, and she started an entire family there since her goals were different. So, that was her mission. And in Boruto Naruto the movie, there was a quote from Momoshiki in which he said, "We only wanted to start over what Otsutsuki Kaguya, who used to be in the seed plot, failed to carry out, which is harvest all the chakra from the planet through the tree and back to the Otsutsuki clan." So it has been answered, who planted the seed or the tree in the earth, and the answer is Kaguya Otsutsuki. So she planted the tree, and millennia later down, she came to absorb all the chakra that the tree had gathered. Okay, now let's go to number 2. Number 2 is that people might not know that Toneri's father was once alive before the last Naruto the movie happened. Okay, so Toneri's father was once alive, and he actually visited Earth multiple times with Toneri when Toneri was a young age. So Otsutsuki do age in the same way as humans. As you can see, Toneri is a similar age to Naruto, right? So Toneri and his father would often spy on the Hyuga clan on Earth. Toneri actually fell in love with Kid Hinata after he saw Hinata during one of their visits to Earth, and then Toneri's father actually promised him that if he grows, they would actually come back to get Hinata so he can marry her. And that's also explains a little bit of Toneri's obsession with Hinata, since he loved Hinata from a young age. So when people are watching the last Naruto the movie, Hinata was in love with Naruto and got what she wanted since childhood, right? And then Toneri got denied what he wanted since childhood. So it's like a win-lose situation, and I can perfectly apply the phrase, one man's win is another man's loss, right? So let's get on to number 3. The Otsutsuki clan on the moon were never stated to be the actual original Otsutsuki clan, and I'm gonna do a video about this later down the line. So a huge majority of the Otsutsuki on the moon were depicted with peach skin, right, instead of the iconic pale white Otsutsuki skin. Now the Otsutsuki patriarch, however, was depicted to look like the original Otsutsuki, including Toneri and Toneri's father, but except from them, the rest of them are depicted to be normal humans from a distance. And it might be inconsistent here and there, where you might see them also be have the original Otsutsuki features, which does not make sense. It is really inconsistent. So it has never been stated that the Otsutsuki on the moon are actually the original Otsutsuki clan. Now it could possibly be that they were the original Otsutsuki clan who moved and followed Kaguya from wherever she came from to land on the moon. So number 4, there are still people out there who do not know that Kinshiki is actually the father of Momoshiki. Now the thing is, for generations, Otsutsukis have established this rule that the father shall gain power and pass on their power onto their children by allowing their children to absorb them, right? And Kinshiki fulfilled this role by allowing Momoshiki to absorb him. Now in the movie, it wasn't really expanded on, right, and people did not really understand the whole situation. However, in the movie novel, right, it actually does explain what was going through Kinshiki's mind as Momoshiki was trying to absorb him, and it revealed that Kinshiki is actually the father of Momoshiki. Now the third Otsutsuki had been revealed as urashiki, and we don't exactly know whether urashiki is related to Kinshiki or not, but most likely it could be the case since his name also ends with shiki. So it could be that Kinshiki had 2 kids, right? And it was very possible because Kaguya had 2 children, so that kind of makes sense. Now let's get on to number 5. Number 5 is Toneri's mind-eye ability. Now The thing is, Toneri had his eyes taken when he was still young, and because of that he lived his entire life without seeing anything. So the first time he actually got to see anything is when he implanted the Tensei gun, and he goes into depth as to exploring what things look like in the novel version of the last Naruto the movie. Now the thing is, even though he was blind, he was still able to fight, meaning that Toneri can fight even though he is blind. And the reason for that is because he uses this ability, which I call the mind eye ability according to the translations. Toneri actually focuses chakra in the center of his forehead or mind, which basically acts as his third eye or his mind's eye, and by using this technique he is able to act more quickly and precisely than he could by seeing with eyes. So now this could be a good explanation as to why Madara Uchiha was able to take out the Kages as well as the tail beast whilst being blind. And the thing is, everyone said that it did not make sense since he cannot fight if he is blind. Now if you really think about it, if he used Toneri's ability or something similar to it, if he used his third or mind eye, right, that could make sense as to why he was able to perform all these antics and defeat all these Kage, because maybe he focused some chakra to his mind, which created this whole third eye technique, because it does increase your swiftness and it does increase your accuracy, and that would explain why Madara Uchiha was able to do all those things even though he did not have any eyes. So he could be using his third mind eye. So next thing after that is Momoshiki's red form. Now after Momoshiki absorbs Kinshiki, he achieves this new red form, which looks different in the manga compared to the movie version. But the movie version might actually be a reference to the novel. Now the thing is that in the novel of Boruto Naruto the movie, Momoshiki and Kinshiki are referred to as ogres. Now the thing is that the horns are the only things that actually indicate that they have some ogre features, but if you really look at them, they just look humanoid, right? So Momoshiki absorbing Kinshiki to turn into the new red form with a Rinnegan on his forehead might actually be a reference to the novels describing both of them as ogres, as he actually achieves the looks of an ogre after absorbing Kinshiki. So the next one after that is that Kinshiki's arms are most likely not naturally as huge as they are depicted in the movie. Now in the data books for Boruto Naruto the movie, Kinshiki's arms are actually drawn proportionately to his body, as you can see in the picture right here. However, in the movie he actually has gigantic arms, and in the novel Sasuke actually confirms that Kinshiki is most likely using a muscle strengthening jutsu, which could be the only reason why Kinshiki's arms are huge. Now it could also be that he is using a jutsu similar to the Akimichi's partial multi-size technique, which is a hidden technique, meaning anyone can learn and use it. So that could be a huge reason as to why Kinshiki's arms are actually big. Next point is actually something which you did not pay attention to but have blatantly seen. Okay, so in the beginning of the last Naruto the movie, we have Toneri speaking to Hiyashi Hyuga, offering him a deal to bring in Hinata so she can actually survive the apocalypse which he will wage onto the earth, right? In which Hiyashi actually denies him by attacking Toneri. But there is this specific angle in which Toneri stands when he is talking to Hiyashi Hyuga. As you can see, there is a little bit of rock which actually forms the shape of an eye, right? And in the middle, right in the middle, it is the moon, and on the sides it is all pitch black. So this actually looks like Boruto's JOUGAN. Whether this is a coincidence, I do not know. Maybe this is what they took in order to create a new dojutsu for Boruto, because as you can see, the JOUGAN has something to do with Toneri, since Toneri was the first person to tell Boruto about the dojutsu, so it possibly has something to do with Toneri, and this whole scene probably inspired the entire dojutsu. If not, then they were hinting at something that was to come later down the line, as they were probably planning the Boruto anime as well as his powers. The next one after this one is that Momoshiki, Kinshiki, Kaguya and Urashiki actually traveled from planet to planet, killing the civilizations of the planet in order to harvest the chakra of the planet. Now it says in the novel, and I quote, "He could see that the people of this star were practically using the chakra that Kaguya had left behind in their own way. If it had been the people of any other star, then they would have been annihilated with his first blow." it didn't amuse him for these ones to cause him so much trouble. So that quote there alone proves that there is alien life in the universe of Naruto and Boruto, and I've actually made a video about it. So if you are interested, there will be a selection of videos at the top right where the right eye is, where you can click and actually check out the video about alien life in Boruto and Naruto. Also, have a look at Kinshiki possibly having the Rinnegan because of details described that actually might prove that Kinshiki does have a Rinnegan. The next bunch of videos upcoming are all gonna be Otsutsuki related, so be sure to check that out, as I will be talking about the Otsutsuki clan as well as the powers that they actually have. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you enjoyed and you want to constantly see my videos, and check out Boruto in depth as well as things you missed. For further entertainment, I have nothing more to say. Bye.